Okay, so it is now right around 1 a.m. on what is now Saturday, September 28th, because today was Friday the 27th. And I've just been sitting here with my head out the window for approximately 10 minutes now, just trying to get some fresh air because the rejected asswipe sex offenders who use surveillance devices in my living space to psychotically perv and creep all over everything I do in the privacy of my unit started making smacking and banging noises approximately 30 minutes ago, just after I'd gotten home from being out of the building for 12 hours and I started taking off my street clothes. They like to do that when I take off my clothes, even if I'm not fully unclothed. They get agitated and violent when I start to remove any kind of clothing item, even if it's like a sweater. That's how desperate, disturbed, and psychotic these rejects are. And I've been hanging my head out the window because now the rejects are filling my entire living space and bathroom with intense amounts of marijuana smoke, apparently coming from the bathroom of 78, where Irizarry, the psycho scum, hate stalking, BLM asswipe, career cyber criminal, according to her handler here at the Greenville Group, Oleg Eliseyev, she likes to hang out in the vacant, permanently empty premises of her former bathroom, located directly behind my kitchen sink. And ever since she was moved into that bathroom in 2013, Irizarry has spent her rejected, ugly asswipe life smoking and propagating intense amounts of marijuana smoke, cigar smoke, and other foul-smelling fumes and smoke that fill my entire living space deliberately, so that I then have to open the window and hang my head out the window just to get some fresh air. So over the last 15 minutes, that's exactly what I've been doing, hanging my head out the window to get fresh air. And when I got back to the building approximately 45 minutes ago now, all of the lights on the outside of this building that illuminate the sidewalk were on, including the light in the front stairwell doorway that was not working for a month, but they finally fixed it. And as I was enjoying the view, someone suddenly shut off all of the lights to the outside of this building. You see how it's dark, completely dark? You can barely see the sidewalk from up here. That just happened. And nobody has been into the office because I've been literally looking at that corner. That's where all the action is. And nobody has gone in or out of the office door of the Greenville Group, which means that the Greenville Group's exterior lighting is remotely controlled, probably by some kind of an app that Irizarry, the psycho scum, hate stalking, sex offender, cyber criminal, and surveillance expert, according to Oleg Eliseyev, once again, her handler at the Greenville Group, who is himself a criminal because he uses criminals to do his dirty work. Career criminals such as Irizarry are his best friends because he's constantly praising their criminal abilities and bragging about how they're able to hack into anything and can solve any or take care of any problem. Well, one of the problems that Irizarry, the psycho scum, mentally disturbed psychopath, asswipe sex offender who is sponsored by the Greenville Group and obviously works for BLM, has just shut off all the exterior lighting to this building. And I watched it happen. One moment, all the lights were on, and the next moment, they were all shut off. And again, nobody has gone in or out of that doorway right there, where you see that one light on, which means that you don't have to go physically into the office to turn off the lights to the exterior of this building. You can just hack into it, or maybe just use an app. So when I get back to the building at like 12:30, 1 in the morning, and all the lights have been shut off, even though the lights were on when I left earlier in the evening, and that has happened multiple times, now I know how it happens. It happens because somebody has remote access to the exterior lighting of this building, and they're mentally disturbed, and they like to mess with the lighting for whatever reason. I mean, psychopaths don't do anything because it makes sense. Psychopaths are psychopaths because what they do doesn't make sense, right? If what they did made sense, then they wouldn't be psychopaths. They'd be normal people. So when a psychopath decides to somehow remotely access the exterior lighting controls for the lights to the outside of this building at 1 in the morning, then they're doxing their own psychotic mental disturbance and the fact that they do things for absolutely no reason. Greenville is required by law to provide exterior lighting around their building, especially since they rent parking spots in the parking lot. And it looks like all the lights in the back of the parking lot have been shut off as well, because that entire section of the sidewalk right there is dark. So if you're a tenant who is paying for a parking spot and you need to get your car out of the parking lot at 3 a.m. and there's no lighting in the parking lot and you trip and fall and break your leg, you have a fantastic lawsuit against a Greenville group who is negligently allowing a psychopath named Jasmine Irizarry, as bragged about by Oleg Eliseyev, the criminal property manager of this building, who hacks into anything, according to Mr. Eliseyev. So Irizarry has just shut off the lights to the parking lot and to the sidewalk because it's completely dark. The only light that is still on is this street light and the light on the corner, which is not really 5 Union Ave. That's 187 Green Street, that corner right there. Wow, what a psycho. What a miserable, mentally disturbed, psychotic hacker. And because Eliseyev, the criminal property manager, brags about Irizarry's hacking abilities, then whenever any kind of electronic dysfunction or malfunction happens with respect to the exterior lighting, as you just saw, or the lighting in the parking lot, which is also off, right? That's the driveway to the parking lot right there. Do you see any lighting there? No, you can barely see the sidewalk. Or when the heating system in this building is constantly malfunctioning and either providing excessive amounts of heat greater than 90 degrees or then providing no heat when it's like 10 degrees outside, then you know that Irizarry, the psycho hacker, psychopath, sex offender, cyber criminal, surveillance expert, all of which Oleg Eliseyev has admitted that she does, is responsible for the dysfunction and malfunction. Any kind of electronic malfunction in and around this building that doesn't make any sense. For instance, the outdoor lighting suddenly getting shut off all at once at 1 a.m, when that is probably when it should be on the most because it's the middle of the night and anybody coming or going from the building or from the parking lot has the right to be able to see where they're going. Well, then that's Irizarry, Greenville's psychopath, who they're basically allowing to run the show, right? She's a psychotic, career criminal sex offender who plants surveillance devices, as far as I can tell, in all of the bathrooms of the common areas of this building, as well as in my own bathroom. She then doxes other people's bathroom activities to her psychotic sex offender friends, most of whom seem to live in the 191 Green Street holding pen for sex offenders. And then the Greenville group allows it to happen. They do absolutely nothing about it because they themselves are sex offenders. Oleg Eliseyev is a sex offender. Robert McLean is a sex offender. They're all management. They're the ones who brag about Irizarry's fantastic cybercrime abilities, how she can solve any problem. That's kind of like an ominous statement. Oh, she can take care of anything. Really? And then she puts cement blocks around the dead bodies and drops them at the bottom of the ocean. Is that how she takes care of anything? Because that's a bit creepy. And again, all the lights have just suddenly gone off on the outside of this building as I was sitting here enjoying the view and looking down at the sidewalk that I can now no longer see without the assistance of the visual aid of the forward-facing camera on this phone. And I can also see that the driveway of the parking lot behind this building, where people pay to park their cars, is also not lit. So these people who pay to park their cars in a lit parking lot so that they can see their car at night can sue the Greenville group for criminal negligence. And again, for allowing a psychotic sex offender, cyber criminal, and mentally disturbed psychopath named Jasmine Irizarry to hack into the lighting system to this building at 1 a.m. and shut off all the lights because she's a mentally disturbed, miserable piece of shit. But I'm still enjoying the view. I mean, honestly, since I don't have to come and go from the building at all for the rest of the night, I don't really care if the lights are off. I'm just noticing it because it just happened right under my nose, literally, and now I can't see the sidewalk. I cannot see where the sidewalk ends and the street begins. It's all a dark blur. But hey, check that out over there. It looks like a giant cruise ship. It used to be a bunch of trees, and then they cut all the trees down, and now they're building what looks like a giant cruise ship on the side of that hill over there. And that's brand new. That wasn't there like a year ago. I just noticed that the lights in the doorways across the street as well are completely off. So if somebody wants to do laundry at 3 a.m, They can fall down the stairs and break their neck because that's the door to the laundry room, but you can't even see the stairs. You can't even see the doorway because the Greenville group is so incompetent and criminally negligent. They can't even provide functioning lighting in their doorways. Jesus Christ. I need to file a RICO case against this criminal asswipe organization. They're so corrupt, so incompetent, and so negligent. Somebody needs to sue the fucking pants off of them. And so far, I've been sitting on my hands and playing defense when really I should have been playing offense. What is that saying, like, from the 80s? I remember people saying that when I was, like, a kid in the 80s. The best defense? No. Wait, hold on. The best offense? No. The best defense is a good offense. There we go. That's what it was. That was like a big saying in the 80s when I was figuring out how the world works. And they're right. The best defense is a good offense. So instead of playing defense, I should just sue the fucking pants off of this criminal, corrupt, sleazebag organization who rents to nothing but career sleazebags, a bunch of perving, creeping sex offenders. And then they say, oh, they're not really sex offenders. Yes, they are. And the reason that they're not all listed in the Massachusetts Sex Offender Registry is because they're all also on the autism spectrum. And if you have autism and you rape people in Massachusetts, that's okay. You're not a sex offender. You're simply autistic. That's how Irizarry, the psycho scum, rejected, hate stalking, career thug, psycho pervert asswipe, is able to get away with everything that she does because she's on the autism spectrum. Anybody with half a brain who spends 10 seconds in her presence, you can automatically tell she's autistic. Mentally disturbed, psychotically perverted, violent, and autistic. Law enforcement just loves these people. That's why they never do anything. That's why these asswipes get to do things like hack into the lighting system of the Greenville group and shut off all the exterior lighting at 1 a.m. when people are paying good money to rent parking spots in the parking lot behind this building. And now they can't even find their car in the middle of the night if they have to, because Irizarry, the psycho scum, mentally disturbed hacker, according to Elisayev, she can hack into anything, has just hacked into the lighting system and shut off all the lights to the parking lot. So people who pay to park their cars back there can't see anything if they try to find their car in the middle of the night. Then they fall flat on their face and break their neck, and then they can sue the Greenville group. I guess that's how it needs to work, right? Because Greenville refuses to do anything responsible, like providing lighting in the doorway of their laundry room or in the doorway of the back exit to the 191 Green Street building. And they're allowing Irizarry to suddenly shut off all the lights to the doorway to the 5 Union Ave building and all along the front of the 5 Union Ave building. Well, then they deserve to get the pants sued off of them by someone who is not me, who hopefully will fall and break their neck in the parking lot tonight because it's completely unlit and they're just trying to find their car.